All right, everyone, welcome to Barça Volume once again. Today is a special day because we have the first Madridista in the house in the hands of and the stream, Dave. Now, before you go, Dave, before I say hi to you, a lot of people wanted me to react to a second video about Marcus Rashford. So the elephant in the room right now, right off the bat,
Okay.
is going to be Marcus Rashford. So, but
Okay.
anyway, how are you doing, my friend? This is your third. This is your third collaboration today. You must be exhausted. I don't know why you showed up.
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. We done one with Papillon, obviously from Barcelona fan. We've seen it, and yeah, that was our very first episode. Obviously, Galacticos podcast, but I'm all excited, mate. I'm recharged, mate. I had my dinner. I'm recharged, bro. I'm recharged. I'm ready for this episode.
We are ready
My
for this episode.
Galacticos podcast. I was a bit down because I was working all day from 7 o'clock in the morning, and then
Yeah.
getting home to then launch up a podcast and then do another podcast. But now, ready to go, people. Ready to
Guys, so you listen to it. So get in the chat, get your questions in. We are going to get started, man. So I want you to address the elephant in the room. Like I said, Marcus Rashford. I made a video about you laughing at Barcelona. I thought it was a little silly. You and I already had that talk. So
go.
so you take it away, man. What are your thoughts on Marcus Rashford? That has to be the first topic. I watch. By the way, I watched a little bit of your, maybe for like 40 minutes, maybe 35 minutes of your Papillon collaboration, man. That was incredibly funny, very entertaining, by the way. And I did hear you say
Thank
some
you.
things about Marcus Rashford, but I want you to take it away. Do you think that you were a little bit overreacting, or do you still hold your ground on Marcus Rashford?
No, I was. I think I took into consideration most of Marcus Rashford's time at Manchester United and seeing him at Aston Villa last year. Obviously, he had decent performances against the likes of PSG, certain matches in the Premier League. But ultimately, my whole opinion on Marcus Rashford was his time at Man United. And for me, as people don't know this, but I work with Man United content creators on a daily, yeah? I work with Rance, I've worked with before with Saeed, I worked with a lot of different Man United content creators, and the biggest ones out there who, let's call it as is, they don't particularly rate Marcus Rashford. And the reason they don't rate Marcus Rashford is because he is a guy that never done it on the grandest stage, essentially. Yes, Manchester United weren't the biggest team in world football at that time when Marcus Rashford was coming into the team. Obviously, he's a Man United player through and through. Obviously, you know that, yeah.
Right.
So they never rated him, and he has been called average by a lot of Man United fans. He's been called average, but across the preseason, I was rather surprised. And anybody can obviously do a banter video. Anybody can do a banter video. They can call out Marcus Rashford. They can do whatever. But sometimes you do need to hold the L sometimes, yeah? When I saw him in the preseason, even across the cameos, let's take out the missed goal, the open goal against Como, which was absolutely shocking. I saw you in the chat, in the Football Chaos chat, Miguel, and you weren't happy, mate. That was absolutely horrendous. But
Yeah, that was
apart from that,
actually, that was embarrassing. I call it out. It's embarrassing.
it is embarrassing. But he looks automatically sharper. I have to say, he automatically looks sharper with Hansi Flick. He actually started essentially that third goal. The third goal you scored, he started by himself. He basically, Jean Garcia done a floated over the top ball, beat the press of Como, and then I'm not sure he was headed down. Was it headed down by Marcus Rashford? I think it was. And then basically he ran to the right-hand side, obviously a little passing interchange with Barcelona's players, and then bang, yeah? Immediately, that through ball sent Rashford, and he put the burners on. He absolutely rinsed whoever that is guy in Como's defense, yeah? He rinsed him big time. So for me, when I look at it, it was sensational. The way that he ran past the defender, and then he's very incisive. He's just like bang across to Rafinha. Doesn't think of going and goal himself, and just says, "Okay, cool. I'm just going to lay it off to Rafinha." If he does that a lot in La Liga, he's going to get assists.
Yeah.
He's not going to. He may not necessarily get goals because I don't know if his shooting boots are there yet. That's Hansi Flick. That's the shooting drill team in Barcelona's training to give him that, that courage to shoot more, to be more clinical. Because the way he passed the keeper as well, the way he was obviously operating, and then obviously apart from the missed goal, look, he was decent for the game
Right,
against Gombe. He
right,
started centrally. Rafinha knew when he had to go in the center. Rashford knew when he had to go out wide. So they
right.
can click. They can click. It's just a matter of time before Rashford starts banging in goals.
That's what as Barca fans we were so excited because we know we have something called Hansi Flick. Hansi Flick for whatever reason just flings to like float that lamp and just magical things are gonna happen. And he's always doing and creating and he putting people in the right places in areas where they can succeed. But that's not even my first topic of the day, Dev. I did talk to you a little bit about what I wanted to make this episode classical vibes only, guys. This is gonna be episode 2 because we did one on Dave's channel, right? So the idea of this is maybe do one on each channel per week, or Dave, you're too busy, man. We can't do this show twice a week, can we?
We can. My work schedule is decreasing after next week, so it's fine. We
Okay,
can do
because
it.
this is your third one. But anyway, let's get into the topics because I am so excited to talk to a Madridista for the first time on my channel because we're going to be talking about predictions. And I know you're very objective, and I want to get your thoughts before I give you mine. Because when I look at this season, I don't want to go first because if I go first, and of course, it's going to be a Barcelona fan telling you that Barcelona is going to win La Liga this coming up season. But I want you to tell me not only who is going to win La Liga, but I want to put you on the spot. Give me your top 3 and why you think those 3 are going to end up where they're going to end up.
So
And then I'll give you my top 3.
your prediction in terms of the La Liga table, yeah?
Exactly, the La Liga table. Then we'll talk about
Okay.
Copa del Rey, and then we'll talk a little bit of the Champions League as well.
Okay.
But yeah,
So, look, okay. So before I get into the top 3,
right.
let me just say this. This opinion is based upon Barcelona now and Real Madrid now. Yeah. I'm not going to base my opinion based upon what could happen in 10 games. After
All
10
right.
games, it could
Exactly.
switch because you don't know how La Liga is going to unfold. Real Madrid could be on fire the first 10 games. You never know. Okay.
Yeah, new information.
So,
of course.
So as it stands, I'm sorry, Real Madrid fans.
Yeah, and before you go there, I do understand what you're saying because if you would have had this episode before the start of La Liga last season, I would have told you Real Madrid was going to win it, right? Because you never know how it unfolds. And Hansi Flick, he did wonders at Barcelona. Everyone got better. We ended up winning La Liga. But yeah, go ahead, man.
Absolutely. So for me personally, I see Barcelona first, and I think they will get around 90 plus points. I think that would probably equate to 100 something, 110 goals or something. That's how I'm thinking they're going to score. I think they're going to score about 110 goals across the season. 90 plus points. Maybe I'm sitting around 93, 95 points, essentially, yeah? I don't think they'll get Centurion, yeah, because I don't think their squad, their defense is lacking a bit for that. I think they could lose a couple of games. But look, I think Barcelona will be first at the moment. Real Madrid will be a very close second. I think it will go to the wire. I think it will go to the wire, but I think the El Clásicos may have the upper hand in Barcelona's flavor, depending on how Barcelona play against us. And then I will see Atletico Madrid third. Now, I think in the middle of the season, the way Atletico Madrid have recruited, they would be in the same position they were last year. They were fighting for top spot with Real Madrid, and Atletico Madrid don't need to be pretty. They can win 1-0, 2-0, and defend the rest of the game. They are good at that. But when it comes to the end of the season, and you saw it against Getafe last year, lost. These kind of matches really disable Atletico Madrid from having a push and a run towards the end of the season.
Right.
So for me personally, I look at Barcelona first at the moment, Real Madrid second, probably 88, 90 points, and then Atletico Madrid third, probably in that 85 point mark. Yeah. Fourth, I'll probably put it down to either Villarreal or Athletic Bilbao. Yeah, so one of those. Yeah. So, but for the top two, yeah, I think that's Barcelona. Copa del Rey. You want me to go on the Copa del Rey now?
No. I want you to stop
Okay.
there because look, I want to show you the odds real quick. I asked Grok, right? I'm asking who is the favorite in La Liga for the 2025-2026 season. Guess what he came up with as far as the bookmarks, the book betters. Real Madrid is the favorite to win La Liga next season. Barcelona, dude, they are plus 110. Real Madrid is minus 125.
Yeah.
Are you surprised about that? I'm a little surprised about
No,
that.
I'm
When
not.
I checked, I was
I'm
not
not.
expecting that at all.
The reason I'm not is because bookmakers, what they go on to is transfer window. A lot of the transfer window affect the odds because it looks how a team has strengthened and it looks how a team has depleted. Barcelona, for me, have depleted in strength just because of one man, Inigo Martinez. I'm going to be honest. Yeah. Yes, Jean Garcia has gone in the goal. And yes, you have got Rashford, who's, I don't think he's going to be registered in time for. Is he going to be registered in time for
Rashford.
Mallorca? Yeah.
So I honestly, we don't know about Barcelona. When do we ever know, Dave? I'm just gonna put it to you like this.
Could be a last day
I
thing.
thought he was going to be. Then I thought it was like actually impossible. I thought he was going to be back in like he was going to be ready for the second game. But
Mm.
I guess Barcelona right now they have Joan Garcia in the books right now. It's 100%. That's already been confirmed. He's going to play against Mallorca, but they haven't make it official because they're working on that the same deal with the Ter Stegen situation.
Second, yeah.
They're trying to check and see if they can make it towards having Rashford and Joan Garcia. I don't know. I'm gonna be a little surprised if we can have both just on the Ter Stegen stuff alone.
Mm.
But if Barcelona somehow, some way have it ready, I'm gonna be a little surprised. I don't expect Rashford to start. But here's the beautiful part, and this is why I kind of was making a little bit of fun about you making that video because that's the beauty about this team, man. Last season we did not have any depth, like in terms of.
And Barca volume has gone. Guys, it's just
Connection.
me. Yeah,
I
there
don't
we
know.
go. Hey,
It might be me. So, but in
you just
terms
went
of
bang.
depth,
Yeah.
right? In terms of depth, I'm thinking like Barcelona didn't have a replacement for Rafinha. We didn't have a replacement for Lamine Yamal. Right now, even right now, like if Dani Olmo's back, right? If Dani Olmo wasn't back, I'm still not worried because we have Fermin who's basically balling out, asking for a chance to start. This team is hungry for players to just want to come in and contribute to this team, and I haven't seen that in a long, long time. Right now, if we don't, you ask me if I have Rashford, I don't care. I don't care if we have Rashford. We have Ferran Torres, and I know we can have Rashford off the bench will be amazing. But right now, like even Jonas and Omar were asking me like who we're starting. I'm like, dude, we're starting Ferran Torres. We're not bringing in Rashford to put him into the fire, asking him to get the goals because Lewandowski's not here. We got to go with the proven player in La Liga who is Ferran Torres, who scored so many goals last season. So I don't care if Rashford is going to be back. Hopefully he is, so we can have him. But in my opinion, that's not even what Barcelona will need per se. But to get back into topic, Dave, did you want to say something before I go on my prediction?
No, because I agree with you. I think Ferran Torres, even if Rashford was registered, he'd still be starting. So you won't throw Rashford into that centre forward role by any means. Like, yes, Como's one thing, but playing Mallorca away first game of the season is a different ball game altogether. So 100%, you're not going to be doing that anyway. So there's no point even in debating it. Doesn't matter if he's registered, if he doesn't matter if he's not. Look, Barcelona have good squad depth and they have very good. Like if you look at all around the pitch, yeah. They have very good technical players that they're going to be very uncontrollable. They're going to have huge spells of the game where they're creating opportunities after opportunities. And don't forget, they probably have one of the best young players in the world as well, in Lamine Yamal. So, unfortunately, like we have to look at Barcelona as a team that is going to perform really well and are going to get the 100+ goals. They are. It's simple as Hansi Flick's teams are going to always do that, and especially with the attacking talent that he has, he's going to get that. So 100+ goals always pretty much wins you the league. Yeah?
Yeah.
Always pretty much wins you the league.
Same thing that happened last season.
Yeah, and the only time it won't win you the league is if Real Madrid are really clinical in their finishing and they still get a load of wins, but they don't lose as much. You understand?
Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
actual season. So Real Madrid need to lose less than Barcelona. They need to be really clinical. They need to win the majority of the games, and they need to beat the small teams that Barcelona potentially can't beat. You understand? Valladolid is going to be a very tough game for you. That is going to be super tough. I'm telling you right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
In Vallecas is going to be a very tough game.
No,
That
yeah.
Villarreal game played in the USA is crazy to me. I don't even know
And that's
why
why
La
I was
Liga
talking
has
to you
actually
in your
even talk
in
about
your channel. I was telling you this. Not only that we have the top 3 games to begin with, but they're all going to be on the road because we asked La Liga to have the first 3 games on the road so we can have Valencia at home.
Yeah,
So that's
it's crazy.
yeah,
It's
that's crazy.
crazy.
All right.
I don't know, and like having the opportunity not to play at La Ceramica is crazy. Like that is one of the most daunting stadiums to go to.
Yeah.
Villarreal have a good home record against the big teams in their own stadium.
Mm-hmm.
So to not even go there is crazy talk. That's like I would hate for one of the most important games of the season is Villarreal Real Madrid. Real Madrid playing away at Villarreal. They need to beat them. Last week we did fine. We haven't done that in a long time. So look, it's a crazy thing this season. It's going to be a very long drawn out season, and depending on how the very first 10 games, I keep on saying that the first 10 games. The reason being because it's the first 10 games they are Clasico.
Yeah.
And if it's the first 10 games and you see Real Madrid or Barcelona ahead at that point, then it's going to put a huge ultimatum on one of the teams to actually do a really good job in El Clasico. If Barcelona are behind, they need to beat Real Madrid. In the Bernabeu. Yeah? If Real Madrid are behind, they need to beat Barcelona in the Bernabeu. You understand?
Yeah.
But if Real Madrid are in front, they can say to them, if we win here, we are in firm control. But then if Barcelona are in front and they win at the Bernabeu, it's crazy.
Well, the Clásicos are extremely important, Dave. That Liga was decided by less than 6 points last season. So how many points did they dispute? It was 6 points. Barcelona swept them. 2 points in La Liga last season. La Liga gets defined by that amount of points. I think it was actually 7, but that's neither here nor there. The point still remains, in my opinion. So I'm going to get started. I think it's my turn. So the way I want to do this, I'm going to start from my third. I think I agree with you, but I want to start from my third. But after I do, let's say I'll do Atletico, right? To me, I think Atletico will going to finish third place, which I thought it was a little hilarious that they're spending all this money just to end up in third place again. But I'll let you go off kind of what I'm saying and see if you agree with me. So the number one reason, but just to be fair, Real Madrid this season to start, they almost spent almost 200 million euros. Okay. So Barcelona last season they swept everything domestically. Now we have a few players, but we only spent like 25 million euros. Atletico Madrid also spent like 145, 150 million euros. So these two teams, realistically speaking, on paper, they should be better than last season. Much better. I know that's the question, right? So to me, to start off with Atletico Madrid, my first issue with Atletico Madrid is that they are spending too much money. And what do I mean by spending too much money? They got 5 new players that are basically going to be starting next season, Dave. So I don't know. I want to get your thoughts on that because, for example, Atletico Madrid, right? They have Almada, who is an attacking midfield. They have Baena. They have Ruggeri as a left back. They have also Cardoso, who's also creative midfielder instead of De Paul, right? They got Cardoso, also the Hanko guy, the center back, who's going to be together with Lenormand. So my only thing I would say to Atletico Madrid, like if I was a fan of Atletico Madrid, right? There's too many questions. There's 5 players out of your starting 11 who are supposed to come into this team to contribute and to actually start. So you're basically, it's like just like I was telling you, starting Marcus Rashford from day one would be a mistake just because you're throwing them into the fire. So another question mark I have for Atletico Madrid is like, what? all these attackers, all these players that you're bringing on are basically attackers. Every single one, like even Cardoso, even Baena, who's actually I think is a really good signing for them. Low key, you pair that with also with Julian Alvarez, that makes a good team. But is now Atletico Madrid going to be an attacking team? Because they normally a defensive
No,
team. So
it's
now is
Simeone's.
Simeone going to be switching things around here? So what do you say about that?
No, I don't think so. I think Simeone is he's always favoured the ugly approach. We've
But
never
why get these
seen.
attackers though? I mean, it seems
Yeah,
like they want to change their entire identity
yeah,
here.
but for me personally, the identity of Atletico Madrid are a team that gets results no matter what. So they're not going to play that. They have been. I just want to. I want to put them in that third place bracket because last time Simeone had a very good team that won La Liga, it
Mm-hmm.
was a different Atletico Madrid altogether. They were defensively a rock. Like they barely conceded goals in that La Liga
Mm-hmm.
season. You understand? But they scored
Yeah.
goals as well. So this Atletico Madrid team are not as defensive as Simeone's old teams. He's tried to rework it. He's tried to refound it how he wants them to play, but unfortunately, it's not the same Atletico Madrid. They will never be. I don't think they'll be the same. And I just see Real Madrid, in terms of the quality they have, Barcelona, in terms of the quality they have, too strong for Atletico Madrid on their good days. But you saw Atletico Madrid; they caused us both problems last
Mm-hmm.
year. They caused both problems. Look, Real Madrid didn't have easy sailing against Atletico Madrid last season. They drew both games in La Liga. They lost in the Champions League after obviously the penalty shootout. I consider it a loss at the Metropolitano.
Yeah.
Look, we beat them barely at the Bernabeu in the first leg. It was a scrape by job against Atletico Madrid in pretty much all fronts. So
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, yeah, Atletico Madrid are going to be a tough look at the games they gave you. Unreal. Unreal. Like they banged two goals past you in the Copa del Rey. It was absolutely nuts. You
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah.
So Atletico Madrid, they're a serious team when you give them time because Simeone is a
Yeah.
serious manager. He's a great manager.
They're a serious team, but that to me the biggest question mark is having 5 new players into the team, and if all of a sudden Simeone is going to be changing his entire identity, because that's
Hmm.
kind of what I'm seeing from the signings. But I think they're still going to finish third. I don't think they're better than Real Madrid as we stand. I don't think they're better than Barcelona either. So
No.
it brings me to Real Madrid. So the one thing I want to say about Real Madrid is I do like their transfer window. I think it was very good in terms of having Carreras on the left. I think that's a major upgrade. By the way, I saw a little bit of him
He's a solid
in
player.
this
Solid player.
this other day. I thought he played very solid. Now, before I keep going, I have to mention this. You guys are liking the stream, and you guys are moving very slow. It's 27 likes, 119
Yeah, get
people
those ones up,
watching.
mate.
We can do much better than that. You guys are moving like injured Rudiger trying to defend Ferran Torres in Copa del Rey. I mean, come on, guys. Let's move faster than that. So Carreras, right? He's a great stud, by the way. That's a great signing. And I did tell Will, I remember texting him when the news came out, the rumors were starting, right? And it took
Mm.
forever for Real Madrid to get him, but they finally got him. And I texted Will if initially I rate Carreras very, very much. I liked
Mm.
him. I watched him play maybe 3 games with Benfica up against Barcelona, and 2 out of the 3 games he defended Lamine Yamal extremely well.
He did, yeah.
Probably better than anyone else, except somebody not named Nuno Mendes in the Nations League, right?
Yeah, we've seen that, yeah.
So I do rate him. Now he's not the best defensive player you'll see as a left back, but he does do a really good job. He bothers Lamine Yamal, so we'll see that matchup. I'm very I'm just really excited to see that matchup in the Clásico. But they
Absolutely.
also got Trent on the right, which is a good signing. Dean was an amazing signing. Now, I think Dean. I don't want to get clickbaited, but like Dean is a player that I think is incredible. I think his build that play is insane. Probably
Yeah.
better than anyone right now. But I think the jury is still out on him defensively. I still seen him not make the best play sometimes on defense. I still have to see more of him, but doesn't scare me defensively at all. I just have to say it. So I remember during the Club World Cup, the news came out, and the story was that Real Madrid was going to spend 100 million euros on an attacking midfielder. that really got my attention. That really
Mm.
got me thinking, okay, maybe Real Madrid
Moving
is serious
serious, yeah.
about being better than Barcelona next season. Now, I guess they're not doing that, but all of a sudden, Mastantuno gets presented today, and they're putting him in La Castilla, which basically what that means is they're going to leave a roster spot in the squad
Yeah.
just in case Real Madrid makes a late push on a new player. Now,
True, yeah.
is that player going to be an attacking midfielder? Because let me tell you this, Dave, before you go, because I'll let you go on Real Madrid, whatever you want to say. Let me finish my soliloquy real quick. Before you go, in terms of question marks for La Liga next season for Real Madrid as well, Xavi Alonso, right? The first thing, to me, Xavi Alonso, the jury is still out on you. I still need to see you be able to win La Liga up against Barcelona, who, by the way, your team just got swept last season. So you have that to work with coming up season. Who knows how it's going to work. I think that's a question mark at the very least to see how good he can be with this Real Madrid team and this group of players. Another question mark to me is Rodrigo leaving? Is Rodrigo staying? If he stays, is he fighting for the right back, for the right wing position? Is he fighting for the left back position, for the left wing position against Vini? What about Vini's form? That's another question mark for Xavi Alonso. Can they work with Mbappe the same way? Are they going to work with Mbappe the same way they did last season, or are you going to make them work this time? How are you going to handle not having an attacking midfielder? Is Arda Güler all of a sudden? He looked like a stud, by the way. I saw them play the other day. I thought the link-up play with him and Mbappe was extremely productive.
Crisp, yeah.
Very, very solid. I thought it was really good. He hit the woodwork twice. I've always thought that he was a stud. But to say that, to then say that, the Real Madrid needs to play around him, or he is going to be the gel that's going to make Real Madrid play, I think this jury is still out. Maybe he can do it, maybe not. All I'm saying is, like, the jury is still out on a lot of things, a lot of question marks on Real Madrid. And to me, ultimately, they are going to compete, but it's not going to be, in my opinion, enough to, and I'll get to Barcelona later, but it's not going to be enough for me to beat Barcelona in La Liga next season. But what are you saying, man? You tell me.
So with me, I looked at Arda Güler's playing against Tyrol. And I was like, Xabi Alonso, clearly, the length of time that he spent on the pitch, he is feeding Arda Güler into this role as the guy that is going to be instrumental in the Real Madrid team. Yeah? That means that Real Madrid are being built around Arda Güler. Now, I have absolutely no reservations to that. I actually want that. I want Real Madrid to be built around the main creator in the team. When Man City were in a dominant phase, the main player that was built around that team was the main player that the team was built around was Kevin De Bruyne, because he was so critical to how they end up being in the final third and getting opportunity to score goals. Yeah. Özil was one of the most crucial players in that Real Madrid absolute Centurion team, absolutely dominant in La Liga that season. There's so many examples of attacking midfielders being the most critical players. And Arda Güler is our most critical players. I don't think the jury's out. I think he has technically the ability to take it to the next level.
Because he played it. Why I said that you're still out on Arda Güler, because he's an incredible player, by the way. I don't make a lot of Real Madrid content. I made a video on Arda Güler. Like, at that time, I had much less subscribers, and it still got me to like 4,000 views. Because a lot of people like Arda Güler.
They like him.
I like Arda Güler, but he played in a Clásico. I thought he was very very ghosted, low key in that game too. So that's what I mean when I say the jury's still out. Now maybe it's going to help him out that he's going to get more minutes. He has the full trust of the coach, from what I see. So maybe that's going to push him towards the finish line to maybe low key carrying this Real Madrid team next season.
I think he is the go-to guy for everything that's the link-up play, essentially. The link-up play between Arda Güler and the rest of the team is critical to how Real Madrid plays. You see, now, I'm not sure if you watched the Tyrol match in full or you caught glimpses of it,
Which
when
one? Yeah, I couldn't watch it, but I did watch extended highlights. I watched basically every important play, but I couldn't
yeah,
watch it. I thought it was going to be on Fubo because Fubo has Real Madrid TV,
yeah,
but it didn't show it on there.
yeah. So basically, for Real Madrid, they have a system now which is very different to what Ancelotti plays. Yeah, the way that Real Madrid play now is they have players that are really now getting tighter to each other. So before, when I looked at Ancelotti's team, and if you have imagine 11 players on the pitch, and the
Hmm.
gaps between the players are like this, yeah. But Alonso wants the gaps to become like this between the players, so the
Hmm.
passing distances are shorter. If the passing distances are shorter, we maintain more ball possession, yeah. And if players like Mbappe can drop a little bit deeper, if Rodrigo, what he did when he came on, which was an excellent cameo, by the way,
Hmm.
dropping deeper and now linking the player with Arda as well, because you saw the way they were playing. They are having 3-4 bodies around them, but there's ability to work the ball correctly
Hmm.
is so crucial to how they're going to build up the attack. So when Rodrigo and Mbappe worked together, that give and go was just excellent. Yeah, I know it's against WSG Toro. I know we're not going to have that many openings as we do, especially against La Liga opposition. But when a team parks a bus and they actually defend with all men behind the box, we need that. We need a team that can really work in those spaces. And that's what Barcelona do really well. Is when they have a team that's parking the bus, it's very impossible to beat Barcelona because by the time you get out, they're already pressing you. You understand? So it's no point in actually doing that. To beat Barcelona, you need to have some reservations about how they defend, but also how you quickly transition the ball up the pitch because Barca's high line is so high that with Kunde and with Balde overlapping, they're going to leave either Kobasi and Araujo, or they're going to leave Kobasi and Christensen and the back line by themselves, essentially. Yeah, with De Jong just sitting in front of them. Yeah,
Hmm.
to initiate that first line press. So essentially, you have to float a ball over the top to even catch Barcelona out. You can't pass it out. It's impossible to pass the ball out against Barcelona. You have to be very, very good to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
A team like PSG could do that. I can
Hmm.
see PSG doing that. I can see maybe a team like Arsenal doing that because they have very good ball manipulators essentially in the back line. But apart from those two, in world football, Man City maybe, but Man City are not with the best of squads anyway. But apart from those two, and Liverpool maybe who can bypass the press as well, there's
Yeah.
very few teams that can pass out of the back with Barcelona pressing them consistently.
And to
Understand?
me, another question mark, Dave. It's this comment right here. Like somebody said that the defensive end, right? So I thought that Real Madrid still needed another signing on defense. Now I know Militao is coming back. He's looking very sharp, from what I've noticed. Did
Mm.
he play the Club World Cup? He was.
Who?
He was.
Militao made a cameo appearances against PSG, but
Yeah,
very small
exactly.
appearances.
I thought I saw him. But the other day he looked very good. He looked like he's back. He's looking back into his own.
Yep.
It's gonna be tough. I mean, he's coming at two years off, hasn't he? 2 years off.
No, it's just the last year. AC is well, he has injury problems in the past, but
Wasn't he
last
the
year,
guy who was back to back ACLs?
what Militao?
Yeah, I thought Militao came
Uh,
back and then
no, but
he
Militao
on
was is
on his
no,
right
but
leg and then on his left leg. Somebody from Real Madrid. I thought that was Militao. Militao was it's been out for like 2 years, I think. He's
no,
been out for
Militao was
2 years.
for me. Militao was one of our most
There's a
consistent
defender
players.
in the Real Madrid. There's a defender from Real Madrid who's been out for 2 years, and I thought that was Militao, but maybe not.
Yeah,
But
but no,
he does.
Militao had he had back-to-back ACL, but I don't think he was out for that long.
But he was
It was a double
essentially
ACL,
out
but
for at least
it wasn't out for that long. Militao for 2 years consistently.
the first time. I thought he was out for a year, and now he had to. I think he was on the opposite leg and whatever. I don't know. The point is, I think that coming back from an ACL, I mean, that's very hard. We saw Florian Wirtz came right back where he left off. Hopefully, for you guys, hopefully Militao will be that guy. But I don't know. I think there's a lot of question marks. I think Dean is probably going to have to play with Rudiger, but Rudiger looking like a shell of himself all of a sudden. I think this is not just on him. I think it's a little bit on Real Madrid. I think they played him too many games at the end of last season that ultimately made probably whatever he had made it even worse. I thought that in that play that I was just making fun of, I think he couldn't catch up to Ferran Torres because he was injured. He couldn't make a run. He couldn't keep up with him, and then Ferran Torres scores that tie the game 2-2. And I think for this season, that's another question mark. Who is Dean pairing up with? Asensio, who's on the decline as well from the Club World Cup, or is he going to be paired with Militao, or is he going to be paired with Rudiger? I don't know. I feel like you guys were another CB away. You guys are just going to wing it with whatever you have. Also, not having that creative midfielder, I think it's too many question marks for next season, man. And those Clásicos, man, they're in Barcelona. You guys are getting better, but Barcelona, dude, we are low key much better than last season. The only question mark I have for my team, which is I haven't got to my team yet, it's gonna be it's gonna be the highline. It's gonna be not having Inigo Martinez, nobody was playing that highline better than him. But we did see Barcelona low key getting Como offside like 6 times in the first half, so that was a good sign for Barcelona right off the bat. But what are you saying as far as like me thinking that Real Madrid was a CB away and probably maybe a right CB away and a creative midfielder away from really contending for La Liga next season? If they don't do that, I think that's too many question marks to kind of fight this back-to-back La Ligas for Barca next season.
Yeah, I think with the defense of Barcelona, I think, just going on your point, I think the whole Inigo Martinez thing is such a whole thing. And I just confirmed it. I just looked on transfer market about Militao's thing. Yeah, I can't recall, because when we won the Champions League, he was part of the squad that won the Champions League, and he played all the matches pretty much up to the Champions League final. So I couldn't recall it. But anyway, so ultimately, I think the defense of Real Madrid is quite solid, I would say. Is it as solid as Barcelona's? I would think so. I think Barcelona still lacks that presence that Inigo Martinez has. Is Christensen that guy? I was arguing with Papillon earlier, saying, is Christensen really that guy? Is he that guy that's going to be
what do you think? Over? Okay, so I'll tell you something about my take on Christensen. I think that he's
inconsistent.
He hasn't have enough time to gel under Barcelona. I think he's been really injury prone. We've been really unlucky with Christensen, but every time he plays, Dave, I watch Barcelona every day, and I'm the first to judge. Like, if there's something not working right, I'm the first to call it out. I made a video today talking about the financial status, saying how unsustainable it is to keep relying on injuries to register players. If there's something that I don't like, I'm the first to call it out. But when it comes to Christensen, every time he plays, he doesn't make mistakes. He always makes the right play, always makes the right tackle, always does the same. He's very sound. His IQ's off the charts. I'd rather have Christensen than Araujo, because I feel like Christensen, he doesn't have the mistakes. But the problem with Araujo, I'm sorry, the Christensen is always the injuries. But if Araujo can play just like he did last game, then we do have a CB for a long time, because he's only 25, 26 years old. But the problem with him is the consistency, is the moment. He's a moments guy, and everybody's overreact every time he makes a mistake. We're looking at him with a magnifying glass. But actually, I think Araujo's a very solid defender. I just don't think he fits Hansi Flick's style. But besides that,
he was decent on the Xavi. On the Xavi. On the Xavi was decent. Araujo.
Yeah, because we were not playing the high line, so he was playing like one of the best defenders in the world when it comes to having defending, right? Like just defending a regular, like for a team like Real Madrid, for example, a team like Atletico Madrid, a team like Juventus. These teams who don't play the high line, they'd like to see back and pin their ears. Araujo was such a great player for that kind of style. But Barcelona, he has a tough time. But I'll move on to my number one, and of course, it has to be Barcelona to me. Until I hear otherwise, until proven otherwise, Barcelona to me is going to be the best team in Spain for sure. We'll have to see in the world, because in Europe is going to be. I think everyone in Europe has taken it up a notch.
Yeah, they're strengthening.
We talked about it in the other episode. The Liverpools, the Arsenal. Arsenal looked really nice, really good, really incredible the other day. Joker is already scoring and get that off his system, right? He scored a goal with
Mm.
Arsenal. Arsenal looks really, really good. Chelsea, they're champions of the world for the next 4 years. Who is there to say that they're not going to win the Premier League next season? How can you argue against it
Yeah,
when they
true.
just won the Club World Cup? So there's so many question marks as far as the best team in the world. But when it comes to the best team in Spain, Barcelona, man, how the only question mark is it's Inigo Martinez. Dude, I was so confident, by the way, before Inigo Martinez left. I was so confident. Unfortunately, Dave, he leaves. They had a gentleman's agreement, and that was good for Real Madrid, I thought.
Yeah.
And now Barcelona, though, we have so much depth. Like even just not having Inigo Martinez, we still have Araujo, we still have Christensen, we still have Eddie Garcia. That when push comes to shove, if we have to put him in there as a lifeline, we have Eddie Garcia. So this team, as a right back, we still have Hector Ford, who's supposed to be leaving, but we have Eddie Garcia there too on the right back. We have Kunde. We added the best goalkeeper in La Liga last season, which is Joan Garcia. And by the way, I did make a prediction. When Joan Garcia news broke, I said, you know what? Joan Garcia is going to add something to Barcelona, not just the saves. He's going to do a lot of progression passes. We saw that with Rashford. He puts him a long pass all the way from the small backs to Rashford in the middle of the field. He picks up the ball, gives it to Eddie Garcia. Eddie Garcia gives it to Fermin, and he just sprints down the sideline and just hits Rafinha just basically a tap in. So John Garcia already, like, he made like maybe 6 or 7 long passes and extremely accurate, by the way. So that's another dimension that he's adding to this Barcelona team that we just didn't have last season. So that's another plus for Barca. I don't want to bore you with every name, but we do have off the bench. We have Rashford, we have Gavi, we have Casado, we have players like Fermin, or if we don't have Fermin because he's starting, he's playing extremely well, then that means we have Olmo off the bench, who is incredible. His technique, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have for Rafinha, we have Rashford. For Lamine, we're gonna have Rooney Bargi. So then Lewandowski is coming back to this team. Like, I know he's gonna be on his last legs. It's gonna be a race to the finish line, but ultimately, this Barcelona team, how can you argue against it? Not winning La Liga back to back when Real Madrid has so many questions that I just alluded to before. But what are you saying as far as Barcelona, man? How they look, and how do you guys think that you can take advantage of Barcelona if you guys think you can beat them next season?
So I'm not looking at El Clasico games, to be honest, Miguel. I'm looking at the smaller games. I'm looking at the tricky ones that Barcelona need to navigate. If we can beat those teams and Barcelona just drop points against those teams, then we have definitely a sure chance of winning La Liga, because those are the kind of matches that Real Madrid need to turn up in. And if we do, under Alonso, how we're seeing us playing this game of football, and controlling the majority of the possession of the game, having a string of opportunities, and having killers up front. I'm not saying Vinny's a killer, but on his best day, he can do really well. Look, there is so many question marks around who's actually going to start. Is Vinny going to start? Is Rodrigo going to start? Are we going to play a 3 at the back? Are we going to play a 4 at the back? So I want to see us really navigate La Liga and have options on formation changes, on the starting personnel, in terms of who we want actually as our main player, essentially, as the team, and then we can work around that. Those smaller games, those ones like away against Espanyol for Barcelona, always finding it a tricky one to navigate, yeah? The ones I mentioned earlier, I made a mistake. I said Valladolid. I said I was supposed to say Vallecano.
Oh, yeah.
It's Vallecano, yeah, basically.
But you did say Vallecas after, so
yeah,
that's
I said Vallecas, exactly. So I was like, so is Vallecano those kind of games? Those kind of games where Barcelona may find tricky and may draw, we need to capitalize on that. We need to win those games. So Clasico is not so important to me. It is in the grand scheme of things because it's brownie points against the 2 best teams in Spain. Yeah. But ultimately, we need to look at the situation and say, look, these smaller teams are going to be the ones. They're the ones who really going to make or break this season, because even though how good Barcelona were last year, I mentioned this to Will earlier, and we've mentioned this in a few times in previous podcasts, we were 2 wins away from winning La Liga last year. Just 2. It's crazy to think that a win against Espanyol and a win at, let's say, Betis would have won us La Liga. It's crazy, isn't it? It is crazy to
Yeah.
think that if we beat those two teams, doesn't matter if Barcelona beat us 4 times, across the season and actually smacked us all over the place. Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
also it's not only it's not the first Clasico as well. Like the Super Cup of Spain is going to have a huge momentum builder into the rest of La Liga. That Super Cup of Spain, the way that it's played is right slap bang in the middle of the season. Yeah. And it has a huge impact on how the teams feel after that.
Mm-hmm.
Losing a cup final against Barcelona had a massive impact on Real Madrid, but we were really keeping up essentially, and then we just literally fell off in a little period where the Champions League games weren't going so well. We lost against Lille, we lost against AC Milan, we lost against several teams, and it just really gave us a bad knock-on effect essentially, So look, Super Cup of Spain is important just for that, but let me tell you this. Like I said, 10 games, El Clasico, it's the 10 games up to a Clasico that's the more important. It's not the El Clasico game. It's we're beating all those teams, then Real Madrid have a massive chance of winning La Liga. But, yes, like you said, look, Barcelona are just, what they're doing is they're saying, okay, like you play a PlayStation game and you press pause and now you press resume, yeah? They won, they resume, they finish career mode, and now they're back onto the same thing. Now they know what they're doing. You see?
Yeah.
Real Madrid is completely new territory with a manager that has, I can quietly say, gone invincible with Leverkusen in a league dominated by Bayern Munich, but with a manager that is not as experienced as Hansi Flick and not as proven as Hansi Flick. To take this team to try and win La Liga is a very difficult ask. But look, halfway across the season, we'll find out who's ahead and who can now take control of the rest of the season.
I'm gonna put you on the spot. Give me a percentage of Real Madrid winning La Liga next season on a scale of 100.
25.
No, that's funny. I was going to say 25. I think Barcelona would definitely, in my opinion, in my books, I'm saying 50%. Barcelona wins La Liga next season. I'm giving Real Madrid 25. Probably the rest of I'm giving Atletico Madrid like 15%. And the rest of 10%, I'll just spread it towards the other teams who I just don't think they have a shot. But I ultimately think Real Madrid does have around 25. And 25, by the way, it sounds low, but it's not that low. Like if you play, have you ever played poker, Dave?
Yeah, I have. Yeah,
I play Texas Hold'em, and when you're trying to get a flush, when you're trying to get you 5 cards with the same color, that last one is 20%, and it hits more than you think. Like trust me, like if you're playing poker, that the flush comes in more than you think.
Absolutely.
And the 20%
with a 2-card draw, and then obviously the 5 cards that come up.
Yeah,
then
exactly.
You have to hope. It's such a hope, isn't it?
That's but what I'm saying is like on that last card, a lot of times the flush does get there, and it's literally 20%. So 25%, don't get it twisted. It's not a little bit. It's not a little bit.
People saying that is even playing field. It's not even playing field. It's never an even playing field because everything based off last season shows that Barcelona are just ready to just go again. There's a difference. Barcelona are ready to go again. Now, I don't really count preseason games. I don't think preseason games have too much effect, but it just shows what kind of mood the teams are in. For Barcelona to score, like, how many goals did they score in preseason? 20-something?
Yeah, 20 goals.
I got something like this. I think 20-plus goals, yeah?
They started slow.
They started slow. Yeah, the 3 goals. But look, doesn't matter if they started slow. They still bang teams all over the place. It doesn't matter who you're facing. Yeah, that's how Barcelona are. They're going to do exactly the same in La Liga. They're not going to bang teams so much, but what they will do is they're going for those 100 goals. I'm telling you right now.
So we're running a bit behind on a few things that I want to talk about. So we'll go quickly here. So I want you to I'll go first. My Pichichi is going to be Kylian Mbappe. I think there's no question about it.
He is winning Pichichi again.
Yeah, he's the best player in La Liga and probably the best striker in the world. Like, it's no surprise he won the goal. Like, I'm thinking about, like, he won the Golden Boot, and in the beginning of the season, we thought he was stinking at Real Madrid. We thought he was going to be a flop. Some people were calling it a flop. and then he still won the Golden Boot. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to
Yeah.
win.
He's not the best player in La Liga. I think Yamal is definitely
No,
the
no,
best
yeah,
player in La
but
Liga.
in terms of scoring goals, the best
Oh,
number
in terms of
nine.
score with goals, yeah, absolutely. Best striker is Kylian
Yeah,
Mbappe by a country mile.
it brings me to my. I was going to ask you. So, best player in La Liga next season. Do you think it's going to be again? Do you think it's going to be Lamine Yamal, or you think maybe Mbappe can maybe have a good year and just kind of steal that from him?
I'm actually going to put a surprising introduction into here. Yeah, I think ultimately Yamal is going to be the best player again because Yamal is Yamal. He is a freak of nature. Yeah,
Hmm.
but I think Arda Güler are going to have a very good season. Mbappe is
Yeah.
going to have a very good season. And there's one player that I think could also be contender for it. Yeah, I think Dean Howson is going to have a very good season as well. Dean
Okay.
Howson is going to have a very, very good season. That guy is incredible. I don't know how we decided to go for this kid from Bournemouth, but honestly, what
He
a
fits in
player!
like a glove. He
What
fits in
fits?
like a
Yeah,
glove.
he fits in the glove. But honestly, Yamal is up there, and then I would say probably Arda Güler is another player. But you could be surprised. It could be a player from Atletico Madrid that maybe shines for the whole season. So you never
Julian
know.
Alvarez. Julian
Julian
Alvarez.
Alvarez, that's what I was
So
thinking as well. Yeah.
brings me okay. So I think definitely Lamine Yamal. I already said this. Lamine Yamal will have more than 20 goals next season in La Liga alone.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna be surprised even if he gets 25 to 30. He's taking more shots. He does seem like he's faster, stronger, everything right now. And how can you argue against Lamine when he looks like he's better than last season even? So
He's gonna have about 35 GA next season.
yeah, I think
Yamal.
so too. Most definitely, to me, best player in La Liga to me is going to be Lamine Yamal. So now brings me to my next one, the breakthrough player. You did kind of touch on that. So to me, I mean, dude, have you heard of this Ita E Young from Villarreal? I think it's their
No.
new striker. It's their new striker. I'm just gonna tell you, I'm not gonna pick him, but I did put it in my notes because watch out for that guy. He already scored, I think, 3 goals in the preseason for Villarreal, and he looks very, very like he just popped out of your screen.
Mm.
Incredible. He looks really, really good. But give me your breakthrough player next season.
Breakthrough player.
Could be Arda because he didn't start last
Is
season.
it? Is it much? Yeah, no. Yeah, it is actually kind of breakthrough. It is breakthrough. Um, I think Carreras is going to be very, very important to our team. I've got to say it. I think
Carreras?
Carreras is going to be a very important player, but I'm going to go for Ardigu, yeah, because the breakthrough counts if he's not literally a starting player last year. So yeah,
Yeah,
I
because
think Ardigu.
I think that I don't know if you heard of AA Skills. He's pretty big content creator, but he's from Portugal. So he
Mm,
doesn't rate him defensively as much, and I do kind of listen to him because he does watch Benfica like a lot. Like that's
yeah.
that's his team. Like he's from Portugal, and from what he's said and his opinions is like I don't think that's gonna change much for Real Madrid, but he thinks that he's not that great defensively. I watched the few
Mm.
times I watched him, he looks really good on defense. So I don't know if that's true or not. But to me, if I have to pick a breakthrough player,
Let's go
I'm
for
just gonna
Barcelona.
call it, man. Like whatever. Like I'm a Barca fan. It's Fermin Lopez. Fermin
Mm,
Lopez closed out the season last year and incredible. Like the only reason why Fermin Lopez hasn't broken through yet, I think, is because we hasn't gotten the chance. And last season was supposed to be his season, which was his third season coming up. And we got Dani Olmo as an emergency signing. Wasn't even
mm.
our place of need. It was just kind of like a signing to show the fans a new player, and that really hurt Fermin Lopez. But at the end of last season, Fermin Lopez scored the last 3 games, including a goal against Real Madrid, who was disallowed, by the way. It was
Yeah.
bogus freaking call I ever seen. Steals the ball from Valverde, goes through 2 defenders, and bangs it in the back of the net. Like that was a huge cross on Courtois. I'm not sure why that disallowed that goal. That was a legitimate goal. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I think next season, the way that he started off this preseason has to be Fermin Lopez for me. So that to me,
Mm.
my breakthrough player is going to be Fermin Lopez for next season. So the most disappointing player of La Liga next season, you go first.
I'm not gonna do La Liga. I'm just gonna say Real Madrid, just as Real Madrid.
You're gonna say the same name I'm gonna say. I already know.
I don't really want to say Vinny, but we're gonna be thinking of Vinny, aren't we? We're thinking of Vinny already because I don't see him fitting into the Xabi Alonso system. But if I have to go away from Vinny, I don't think Trent's gonna light the world up. I'm gonna say I don't think Trent's gonna light the world up like people think. He's just gonna be a very solid player.
I don't think so either. I thought Virgil van Dijk a lot of times was very frustrated about Trent just being too much of an attacker, never helping out on defense. I saw him a lot of times. He was very, very upset at Trent.
Yeah, I don't think Trent's gonna light the world up, like guys. I have to admit. I don't think he's going to play the player that people think he's going to be. But if he does get a few assists, then it just adds goals to us. So it's okay. I don't mind.
So you will say Vinicius Jr.?
I say Vinny. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I have Vinicius Jr. I think something is on to him. This is normal. This is not normal. You don't see these kinds of drop offs in any type of player, and it's really sad to see.
For nearly whole season, essentially.
Even as a Barca fan, like I can tell you, like it's a little sad. Like you want to see at least because I know a lot of Real Madrid fans, used to make fun of Messi. We used to like bash on Ronaldo. They used to bash on Messi, but deep down in your heart of hearts, you knew these were two ballers going at each other's and trying to get in each other's way and trying to win each other's achievements.
Even if Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi didn't have the best game, they would still score. That's how it is.
Exactly. So to me, I don't think Vinicius never was the big finisher anyway. So I don't see him bouncing back. I don't know what's got into him. I know many Vinicius Jr. fans on Twitter, they're already putting a vote of faith and saying that he's coming back and he's going to shut a lot of mouths and he's going to shut everyone down and the whole world is against him or whatever. I just don't see him, man. I don't. Even the other day, bro, like him and Mbappe on that first half, it looked ugly. It looked like it doesn't even fit. It looks so stupid. Like, of course, Rodrigo comes in the second half and he gets an assist from Mbappe and scores in the back of the net. Like, they already know each other. Like, dude, the answer to the test for Real Madrid is right there, bro. Like, they know that Rodrigo and Mbappe work so much better than Vinicius Jr. and Mbappe. It's no surprise to me in the second half with just a few minutes, Rodrigo gets that pass from Mbappe right in stride and bangs in the back of the net.
Yeah, no, I don't know, man. It's just I'm fed up of talking about Vinny, to be honest. Move on from this, mate. I don't want to talk about Vinny too much. People think I hate on him. I don't. I just think he could be better. That's all.
Yeah. So, best goalkeeper. Give me your best goalkeeper next season. I already called him, man. It's going to be John Garcia. And I think, and I'll tell you this, I think Courtois is a better goalkeeper. Maybe today is a better goalkeeper, but last season it was John Garcia, and they played on the same league, and John Garcia was the best goalkeeper in La Liga. Yeah. And I think John Garcia can get better still. He's still young. He hasn't played with a better club, with a better defense, with a better team around him. And I think he's going to be very important in the Barcelona offense, connecting with the front three, those long passes that I was talking about. I think John Garcia will be the best goalkeeper once again in La Liga. But what are you saying?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think in terms of show stopping, he's going to be. And
Courtois is on the decline, low key, by the way.
Yeah.
Little bit on the decline.
He is. But look, we have to just take it into consideration that like with I don't know, with players that are coming from teams like Espanyol or different players, you can't really put them into the shoes of someone like, for example, Courtois, who's been there at the biggest level all the time. So look, for me, Courtois is going to. I think Real Madrid are going to concede the least amount of goals next season. Mm-hmm. I think the defense is going to be quite solid. The question is, will they score goals?
Who's going to be the defense?
Dean Howson. If Militao's fit, then he'll be there. If he's not fit, then
Rudiger.
We're going to have to look at Rudiger. We're going to have to look at Tchouameni. We have to look at other options because. Yeah, it's all up to fitness levels, really. Because Militao is looking happy. I haven't seen a smile on him in a long time. Yeah. So I'm happy that he's there. And Carvajal's looking fit and healthy as well. Their training sessions are very intense, by the way, Real Madrid. Yeah. Like, I haven't seen him do these training sessions in a long time. Ancelotti was very laid back with the training. These
Exactly.
guys are fully going at it, and Xabi Alonso is really killing them in the training pitch as well. So
Yeah.
hopefully the best goalkeeper is going to be Courtois. But look, if Courtois is injured, then Lunin, bruv. Lunin, come on, mate.
So,
yeah,
Dave, I know you're tired, so we'll move on really quickly on the
That's
last
fine.
two. We're gonna go Copa del Rey. We'll talk briefly on Super Cup, and then we'll just call it out. What's gonna happen in the Champions League real quick. But I'll go first. Okay, I'm gonna go on record, right? As a Barcelona fan, I think it's extremely hard to win back-to-back La Ligas, back-to-back Copa del Rey. And I'm just going to say right off the bat, man, Barcelona loses Copa del Rey, Real Madrid wins it next season.
I don't think none of them are going to win it.
Atletico?
I think it's going to, I know, I don't think Atletico Madrid is going to win it. But I think it's going to be a very strange team that can win it. It could be either Villarreal, it could be Bilbao. I don't think none of them are going to win the Copa del Rey. I'm sorry.
Dude, if Athletic Club wins Copa del Rey next season, what's left for Real Madrid, bro?
No, but what?
They have to win Copa del Rey.
What I'm saying is that Real Madrid are going to put all their eggs into La Liga. They have to. They have to make a statement this year. They have to put all their eggs into La Liga. They cannot lose La Liga. I don't want to sacrifice the Champions League because I want to win it as well. But La Liga is our main bread and butter this year. I'm sorry. La Liga is the main cup of tea this year. We need to win La Liga. So I don't think that we'll be throwing our eggs into the Copa del Rey basket. Look, we can really coast our way to the quarterfinals or semi-finals anyway. Let's be honest on that one. Depends on who we play and the schedule. But Real Madrid are putting all their eggs into the La Liga basket. If they do end up in the Copa del Rey final, then so what? You know, that's the situation.
That's really interesting, man. I'll tell you something. I told you this on your channel. I've been watching Real Madrid for as long as I've been watching Barcelona. They have never been back-to-back. Low-key, they've never done back-to-back, no trophies, nada plete, right? They never just not win anything. So I'm expecting Barcelona not to win Copa del Rey. I do expect Real Madrid to win that. If Barcelona is not winning it, then Real Madrid should be the one scooping it up. I don't know. Maybe Atletico Madrid has that team. Maybe they have it offensively to maybe this time make a push for Copa del Rey. Maybe not. But I see them as a third option, to be honest. I think it's either Barcelona or Real Madrid. Who knows? Maybe they're going to end up in the final once again. And at that point, maybe I'll just have to pick Barcelona. But I have a better chance. I think Barcelona winning La Liga than winning Copa del Rey next season. And also the Super Cup. I don't know. Barcelona, it's hard to win 3 trophies in one season, just like we did last season, especially when you were expected to win it. I don't expect Barcelona to win the Super Cup. I think, again, Real Madrid gets at least one of these two, Super Cup or Copa del Rey.
I think, honestly, we need to look at Barcelona as they're going to be the main favourites for Copa del Rey, but I don't think so. I think we need to just look at it. I think the stream's lagging. I think StreamYard's maybe having problems, mate, on the back end. People are reporting the stream. I have actually, I have actually looked at it, and yeah, the stream has just started lagging now. I don't think it's been. Oh, sorry. I think it's just now. I think StreamYard's having problems on the back end.
It hasn't lagged on my. I haven't seen anything that's lagging on my end.
Yeah, no, it's on the actual YouTube itself. So I think it's in the back end. I don't think it's a problem on your end.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on and then finish the topic and wrap it up. I want to hear your thoughts real quick because this is prediction time. This is prediction kicking off. I want you to tell me how's Real Madrid going to do in the Champions League, and then I'll tell you how they're going to do in the Champions League, and then we'll do with Barcelona.
So Real Madrid. Semis.
That's a big push. If we make it to semifinals, I'm gonna be surprised. Depends on who you get though. Like that's the drawing. That's
I think semis.
Semis. Wow, Real Madrid semis that they can. If Real Madrid gets to the semifinals, man, watch out because they know how to win these things. They know how to win. Nobody knows how to win the Champions League better than Real Madrid. They get to the semifinals. Dude,
depends how the group stage goes. I don't want to be in that playoff situation again. I want to automatically qualify. I want to be one of the top seeded teams.
Yeah,
I want to be one of the top seeded teams, get a decent ride to the final, so we don't have any problems. So yeah, so semis hopefully.
Yeah. So okay. So, but for me, I think it's like Barcelona makes it to the semis, the semifinals. They're going to be one of the top 4 clubs in Europe once again. It's probably going to be Liverpool. It's probably going to be Chelsea somewhere
PSG,
there. It's probably going to be PSG.
Arsenal
I
potentially.
I don't know. Who knows? Maybe Arsenal, depending on who they draw. But Barcelona, I'm expecting Barcelona to make it to the semifinals once again in this one. I think Real Madrid gets eliminated either. I think quarterfinals. I think Real Madrid gets to the. I'm sorry. No. Yeah. The quarterfinals. They can't make it to the semifinals. I don't think they have enough. I don't think they have enough team to even make a big push for. I'd be surprised if Real Madrid is in the semis. If Real Madrid is making it to the semis with this team, very very low key, they may just win because that means they're playing extremely well if
We'll
they make
see.
it to the
We'll see.
semifinals. But no, we'll have to see. But anyways, man, I think that's it for today. I mean, this is a pretty interesting show. A lot of predictions, a lot of stuff. We'll see what happens. We'll revise this probably at some point during the season and see how we're doing in our predictions. And but yeah, man, anything else? Any last words before we get?
No. I'm just infuriated that StreamYard has got problems now suddenly out of the blue and pretty much ruined the end of the podcast. But unfortunately, you know what? Hopefully, you'll see it maybe on replay. Maybe we'll fix up on replay. But it's been always a pleasure, Miguel, and I'm always pleasure to do classical vibes only, mate, as a podcast with you.
This was your idea, man, and thank you for making it happen.
Twice a week,
we're here together because
once a week.
You reached out to me.
Once a week, I think.
Yeah, once a week. Yeah, I think so too. Because you're very busy. You have a lot of shows going on. I don't want to overload you. And this season, I'm gonna have a pregame show, a postgame show, and then all the videos I'm doing between. So we go to once a week, maybe very realistic. With our schedules and whatnot. I mean, I wish we could do it more often, but we'll see though. If people like it, then we may just do it, and we'll have to see what we can do with the other stuff. But so far, man, I love this conversation. Sorry if I talk too much. You just kind of have to put up with it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We're ready, man. We're ready to get this classical vibes only episode 2 finished, and we're already obviously on the way to episode 3, which is going to be Barcelona's first match against Mallorca. Let's see how it goes.
Mallorca. And Real Madrid plays on Tuesday. Why is that, by the way?
Because Real Madrid wanted a rest, essentially.
Oh, okay. So they got a little extra.
They got a little extra.
A little extra rest. That's okay. I mean, I was curious to see why they moved it. Bollocks. But then now they have less time to rest for the second game, so it's.
Oviedo would be easier than Mallorca.
That's true. All right, man. Well, that'll wrap it up, guys. Before you go, please like the stream. Leave your comments after post stream, and go subscribe today, man. Subscribe. I would really appreciate it if you guys do and show some love. And this has been a great show. And thank you for coming on, man. This means a lot to me that you make the time to be here today.
Absolutely, always my pleasure, man.
All right, man.
Always, and make sure you catch episode 3 on End the Stream Dave, possibly next week after La Liga matches are all wrapped up.
Dude, get 8 hours of sleep. You've been streaming all day, man. I'll catch you guys on the next video.
Adios, people. A la Madrid, nada más.
Vizca el Barça y nada más.